So, Uncle Tom's Cabin is a very significant 19th century American novel because it does more than describe the cruelty of slavery. It directly challenges the moral authority of a legal system that supported and protected slavery. At the time the novel is set, slavery was not only a social practice but also legal sanctioned institution, which meant that many inhuman actions were considered lawful. Through this narrative and characters, the novel repeatedly raises a critical question. When the law itself becomes a tool of oppression, are individuals still morally obligated to obey it? In this presentation, we are going to examine how Uncle Tom's Cabin challenges readers to reconsider the relationship between law, morality, and justice, and how it exposes the gap between what is legal and what is truly just. And why this question? This question is is especially important when we consider the historical context of 19th century America. During this period, slavery was explicitly protected by law, and citizens were legally required to complete with the system, even if they personally oppose it on moral or religious grounds. As a result, the conflict between legal obligation and moral responsibility was not abstract but deeply embedded in everyday life. Uncle Tom's Cabin intervenes in this moral crisis by portraying characters who are forced to choose between obeying the law and following their conscience. These moments reveal that legality does not necessarily equal to justice. By highlighting this conflict, still encourage readers to question blind obedience to unjust law and to consider whether moral responsibility should take precedence over legal authority. For this reason, examining this question is not only essential for understanding the novel's historic impact, but also for reflecting on broader discussions of justice, human rights, and civil responsibility that remain relevant today. So next we are going to talk about the history background.
So for the historical background, next page. Slavery was not only a social practice, but a system protected by law. And enslaved people were legally treated as property, and the legal system prioritized the rights of slave owners. This means that violence and inhuman treatment were often considered legal, even though they were deeply unjust. Second, the Fugitive Slave Act of 1850 clearly shows the conflict between law and morality. And this law required citizens, even in free states, to help capture escaped slaves. People who followed their conscience and helps enslaved individuals could be punished by law. In this situation, obeying the law often meant acting against one's moral beliefs. Next page. And for the cultural background, next page. Next page. American society at the time was strongly influenced by Christian values and humanitarian ideas. Many people believed that all humans were equal before God and that individuals had a moral responsibility to oppose injustice. These beliefs directly conflicted with slavery laws. Harriet Beecher Stowe wrote Uncle Tom's Cabin in this context, using fiction to question whether laws that support cruelty can truly be considered just. In, in this historical and cultural context, Stowe used fiction to expose the gap between what was legal and what was morally just, which is central to our inquiry question. Next is textual analysis.
So from here, I want to talk about textual analysis 1. So for textual analysis, I want to talk about sentimentalism. So sentimentalism has a function to change people's minds and hearts, no matter it is fiction or non-fiction. So Uncle Tom's Cabin is a very good example of sentimentalism, and so I'm going to go through this topic here. And firstly, in Uncle Tom's Cabin, there are many types of characters, and also the perspective is from third-person omniscience, and this perspective creates each character's emotions, feelings, thoughts, so readers can easily sympathize characters' situations. And for example, when Aunt Croy asked her master if she wanted to work outside as a cook because she wanted to get back her husband, Tom, and from here we can feel the cruelty of family division. So when we see it here, we can easily feel like sadness or anger and and moreover, when the story creates a comparison between sensibility and rationalism, and we can notice this distortion of law, morality, and justice. We can see twisted materials at almost the end of the story, like when Simon Legree killed Tom. Tom showed his pure Christian spirit, and which was just like Jesus' cross. And this hero and devil comparison shows us slavery's distorted system. And moreover, these two characters' comparison shows slavery's social problems clearly. And that's why I think the sentimentalism has the power to change social values. Also, sentimentalism can influence any era and every generation and people of all classes because human beings have a conscience and the quest for justice. I think this is just my opinion, and here is my part. Thank you.
And I'm going to talk about the symbols next. There are many symbols in this story, and I take three things for the examples. The first one is Bible. The Bible is stand for the Uncle Tom's faithful spirit because he always bring the Bible with him when we feel helpless or we will be afraid because the enslaved life, but he always believed that the Bible and the God will give him power and peace to face his destiny. And the second one is Elisa want to escape from the fate because her son will be sold and separate with her. So she across the icy river, and no matter how dangerous it is represent the resistance of slavery. She tried try she tried her best to get to the freedom. And the third one is Eva. Eva is the girl. She doesn't care about Tom is a slave. She just, unlike another white people who unlike another white people who come as a goods which can be sold. She just looking like a normal people, and because he will make some toys to and I think it's the most important part is the sincere of Eva. She wants to buy Tom her to her family because she represents the pure heart, unlike the people in the generation. And next. So the conclusion is the story explores the conflict between law and morality by showing how slavery is. So slavery is legal, but it does not so reasonable for treating a people like an animal. And there are some symbolic figures like Tom, Elisa, and Eva. And the author argued the true justice by these characters. And the novel ultimately suggests that when laws support injustice, individuals are called to follow higher moral law. They need to think about why it's more important. What if the law is not reasonable? Do we need to do we need to follow it, or we can try to resist it? Okay.
有人讲这个question吗？等一下，我把它
And we had two questions. The number one is, can the law be considered justice if violates basic moral principles? Why or why not? And do you think literature today can still challenge unjust laws or social system in the way Uncle Tom Harvey did? Yes.
Please show the question again, and audience members, if you would like to answer to any one of the questions, would you please raise your hand by clicking on raise on top of the screen. You'll be able to see raise or react. If if no one volunteer, then the presenters, you can point people, okay? And by the way, where is Kazuha? I saw that she's on your team, but today she's not present.
Oh, I'm here.
Oh, Kazuha, you are here, but there are 5. So we got Linda, Christina, Anita, Eileen, and Kazuha. So which one is missing?
Anita is not
Oh.
here.
Okay, why isn't she here today?
I don't know.
Okay, then I'm going to delete her name from the list. Okay, so you can just point anybody. Okay, you can see the name list and invite their response.
No, no, 어서 봐, 뭐. 네.
I see that someone has raised his hand. Okay, would you please just turn on your microphone and respond?
I want to answer the question too. And my answer is yes. I think literature can still challenge injustice today because a good story can raise awareness and shape public opinion and also inspire people to question unfair systems and think about the social change. So the answer is yes.
Please tell me your name so I can write down your name.
I'm Stevie.
Phoebe? Okay, thank you. Phoebe, would you like to continue to answer the question I saw? If not, you may click on the icon again. Yeah, okay. So anyone else would like to answer the question? Presenter, you just invite anyone to answer the question, okay? Because I have question for the presenter too. So I want people to answer your question first before I ask you my question, okay? So please.